In this video, we are going to talk about Merck stock. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. Merck stock soared in June after it received a $1.2 billion government contract for its experimental COVID tablet. Merck, MRK, will provide 1.7 million doses of molnupiravir, a tablet used to treat mild to moderate COVID in patients with a pre-existing disease, to the United States under the terms of the agreement. Merck is now producing molnupiravir on a risk basis while it undergoes Phase 3 testing. Merck also completed the spin-off of its women's health, biosimilars, and established medicines operations into a new company, Organon, earlier this month, OGN. An expert panel recommended that the Food and Drug Administration reverse Merck's, MRK, approval of Keytruda as a third choice in stomach cancer earlier this year. Further testing was required in order for the approval to be renewed. However, further research has yet to prove the drug's effectiveness. The FDA is not obligated to accept the panel's advice, but it frequently does. The council recommended that Keytruda's approvals be kept in certain forms of bladder and liver cancer. The panel recommended keeping ROX, RHHBY, Tecentriq in kinds of breast and bladder cancer, despite Bristol Myers Squibb's, BMY, Opdivo losing out in liver cancer. So, is Merck stock a good investment right now? Fundamentals of Merck stock: earnings decline. Merck's adjusted earnings fell 7% to $1.40 per share in the first quarter, while sales remained steady at $12.08 billion. According to FactSet, these indicators also fell short of expectations. Merck plans to earn $6.48 to $6.68 per share on $51.8 billion to $53.8 billion in revenues for the fiscal year ending in 2021. Keytruda, a cancer medication, accounted for nearly a third of sales, 32%. Sales of Keytruda increased by 19% to $3.89 billion. Januvia, a blockbuster diabetic treatment, increased its revenue by 1% to $1.26 billion. However, sales of Gardasil, a human papillomavirus vaccine, plummeted 16% to $917 million. The first quarter results fell short of the CanSlim investment guidelines, which advise investors to look for companies with recent quarterly growth of 20% to 25%, or better. Even so, big drug businesses like Merck can make gains without going through massive growth spurts. Merck is expected to earn $1.49 per share on $12.51 billion in sales in the second quarter, according to FactSet polled analysts. Earnings would increase 13.7% year-over-year, while sales would increase 15.1%. Merck & Co., Inc., MRK, had a full-year profit of 5.74%. Price records that cover a 52-week history of low and high prices can reveal a lot about a stock's current state and future performance. Merck & Co., Inc. shares are currently down -7.79% from their 52-week high and 12.90% higher than their 52-week low. During the 52-week period, the stock's price range managed to stay between $68.38 and $83.72. The company's shares, which operate in the healthcare sector, had a trading volume of over 50,285,188 for the day, which was much more than the usual daily volume of the shares. When it comes to year-to-date data, Merck & Co., Inc., MRK, has a market performance of -1.02%, with revenues up 4.62% on a quarterly basis when compared to the same period the previous year. The company's entire market worth is currently set at $193.35 billion, and it employs a total of 74,000 people. Merck & Co., Inc. has caught the attention of analysts, MRK. During the previous month, 13 analysts recommended buying Merck & Co., Inc., 3 analysts recommended overweighting the stock, 6 analysts recommended holding the stock, 0 analysts recommended UNDERWEIGHTING the stock, and 0 analysts recommended selling the stock. Merck & Co., Inc., for example, had a -0.73% movement over the last 100 days, with trading volumes of 12,780,405 shares. The debt-to-equity ratio, DE, can also reveal important information about a company's financial health and market position. Divide a company's current total liabilities by its shareholders' equity to get the debt-to-equity ratio. As a result, debt to ownership is a useful metric for describing the debt a firm uses to fund assets, as well as the worth of shareholders' equity. At the time of writing, MRK's total debt-to-equity ratio was 1.16. Furthermore, the long-term debt-to-equity ratio has been established at 0.89. Merck & Co. Inc. Technical Overview, MRK. Merck & Co. Inc. has a raw stochastic average of 62.01% over the last 50 days. The result is a downgrade compared to the raw stochastic average for the last 20 days, which is 86.94%. The company's stochastic percent K was 75.36% in the last 20 days, and its stochastic percent D was 67.03%. Multiple moving trends can be seen when looking at Merck & Co. Inc.'s past performance. Year-to-date, given the metric's current value of -1.02%, the stock's price performance appears to be positive. Furthermore, trading for the stock increased by 1.51% during the last 6 months, with a gain of 5.74% over the last year. The stock rose 0.77% in the last 7 days and fell 4.83% in the last 30 days, according to the data. During the previous quarter, common stock shares increased by 4.62%. What do Merck's annual metrics say? Merck's stock was down around 1% for the year as of lunchtime on June 28. The stock is ranked 10th in the pharma industry group by composite rating. Medical ethical drugs, with 35 companies, is ranked 93rd out of 197 groups covered by Investors Business Daily. Merck's sales increased by 2% to $47.99 billion last year. This is down from an increase of 11% in 2019. Sales are expected to increase by 8% to $51.83 billion in 2021, according to analysts. Income is expected to rise by about 7.1% to $6.06 per share. This follows a 14% increase in 2020. The pharmaceutical company's technical analysis Merck has a composite rating of 58 out of a maximum of 99. The CR is a metric that measures a stock's major growth parameters over the previous year. Merck's stock is now among the top half of all equities, regardless of industry. Merck stock also has a relative strength rating of 27, which reflects its 12-month performance. This indicates the stock of the pharmaceutical firm performed in the bottom 27% of all equities over the last year. It's also crucial to keep an eye on chart patterns. According to MarketSmith.com, Merck shares broke out of a cup and handle base with a buy point at 77.65 on June 25. However, on June 28, shares had failed to maintain their breakthrough and were trading below their buy point. Merck stock update. Merck acquires COVID. In June, Merck agreed to supply the U.S. government with 1.7 million doses of its COVID therapy tablet. Ridgeback Biotherapeutics is cooperating with the company on the treatment. If the medication is approved for emergency use in the United States, the contract is worth $1.2 billion. Merck also just completed its Organon separation. Organon will concentrate on women's health, biosimilars, and off-patent medications. President Joe Biden said in early March that Merck would assist Johnson & Johnson, J&J, in developing a coronavirus vaccine. The Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority will provide Merck with $268.8 million in funds to help expand and make accessible facility space. Merck, on the other hand, has halted development of 2 potential COVID vaccines after they were found to be inferior to other vaccines and spontaneous infection. Merck also just completed the acquisition of Pandion Therapeutics for $60 per share. Is Merck stock a good investment right now? It's not the right time to buy Merck stock, according to the CanSlim investment principles. On June 28, the stock had not retaken its buy point. Investors are advised to buy when a stock is no more than 5% above its entrance point, and to sell when it falls 7% to 8% below the buy point. Merck's sales were also unchanged in the first quarter, while profitability were down. As a result, both indicators fell short of the expected growth rate of 20% to 25%. Even so, large companies like Merck can add to their profits without going on tremendous growth streaks. What do you think about our video? Do you want to say more about stats? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications before you go. Thanks for watching.